y'all get on here acting fake surprised about Sweetie? I been told y'all months ago. It damn sure wasn't the fucking music. I need you guys to stop putting these people on a pedestal. And you know, with everything unraveling right now,
Female rap artist Saweetie has recently been accused of being a yachter, doing paid and arranged relationships, losing clients because she's abusing substances, doing voodoo. I see a lot of people, one, asking what yachting is, and two, wanting this whole situation broken down, so I'm gonna break it down for you.
Welcome back. Things are spinning out of control with this Saweetie drama. It's like every hour there's a new twist. So here's the deal. Just days ago, one of Saweetie's so-called friends decided to drag her name through the dirt on Instagram. And when I tell you it was messy, I mean real messy. She didn't just call her out for not paying up, she aired out every secret she could find. And it got ugly fast. According to this friend, Saweetie wasn't just late with payments. She hinted that Saweetie had some wild habits. She claimed the rapper was on coke, doing witchcraft, and even creeping with other people's husbands. She even dropped Offset's name in there like it was nothing.
We're selling that box because if you want to be real, like, Saweetie is a rapper, but she don't make money from rap. So how else is she supposed to keep up with her flashy, wealthy lifestyle? Let's be all the way real. Her music don't sell. She don't go on tour. She don't have no brand deals. Like, she don't do anything. She barely posts, because that's how people in all them industries really get their money, like especially rappers, because you know rappers be on their label money, but if you're not making any money, you're gonna owe your label, and then that's why you get shelved or they drop you. Like, Saweetie don't even have an album out, and matter of fact, Saweetie has never dropped an album. Actually, then on top of it, she's never been on a tour by herself, like a tour for Saweetie. Saweetie's never even been on tour. Most she's ever did was pop up at Rolling Loud Festival. She's never did nothing else. Now granted, she had a couple endorsements with McDonald's and Mac and some other shit, but Saweetie don't make no noise. She's still, like, at the level she's at, she's damn near still a new artist. She just didn't go nowhere. Like, so for her to be selling that box overseas and damn near got a madam and be doing drugs, well, yeah, like, she's just doing what she gotta do. And I just feel like that's a lot of those rap girls, because their music don't sell, so they're not making money from music. So if they're not making money from music, they either selling it or they put up with a rich man somewhere, like JT. Like, your music don't sell, but your lifestyle's so flashy, so clearly somebody's footing.
And you already know that made the internet explode. But she didn't stop there. She leaked screenshots of text messages that made it seem like Saweetie was just using her new man, soccer star John Sanchez, for his money. Now John's no small name. He's got a major career, big contracts, and apparently he's head over heels for Saweetie. He even tattooed her name on his body. But these texts make it look like Saweetie's only in it for the lifestyle, not the love. Wild, right? And just when it couldn't get any crazier, Esc0rt jumped into the chat.
Saweetie getting exposed for allegedly being a yacht girl, it wouldn't surprise me if it were true. And I'm not saying it is true, I'm not saying it's not. I'm saying a lot of girls be yacht girls, 304, sex workers, however you want to slice it. Saweetie has been in the game since like 2017, 2018, and her music has never done crazy numbers. She's never like broken any records or nothing super crazy like that, yet she's still relevant in the industry. She's still making a ton of money. I never once thought all of her money was coming from her music. And she makes music about niggas tricking on her and only fucking with niggas with money. She looks amazing, has a great body. She's always out the country. Like, it wouldn't surprise me if she was out here, you know, doing something funny for some money. Allegedly, a lot of the Instagram girlies, they be, you know, giving it up like that. Even if you take celebrities and well-known people out of it, a lot of regular everyday people be giving it up like that. No, I feel like there's like levels to it. There's some people, they'll just have some tricks who they can hit up for some money. There's some people who will go on dates with men. Some people hit the blade and find men. I just wouldn't be too surprised if Saweetie had gotten into some crazy things. But the girl who came out and accused Saweetie of doing all this and of allegedly, you know, doing the booger sugar, she 100% gives madam vibes. Because to be talking about, oh, I took you to this country, I took you to this place, to that place, she definitely gave madam who Saweetie tried to run off on, and now the girl has clearly said what she needs to say behind closed doors, still hasn't got her money, now she's bringing it to the internet. So I don't know, but it's all crazy. Honestly, nothing surprises me though. Like, at the end of the day, we don't know these people, so I could hear anything about anybody and be like, I could probably see that, because bitch, I don't know.
Fans were like, what does she have to do with this? But Moniz came with receipts of her own. She went straight into the comments spilling tea that took this scandal to a whole new level. According to her, the same friend who blasted Saweetie wasn't just managing gigs. She was out here running something closer to a madam operation. Moniz said it plain and simple. No, I'm being for real. Like, she matches high-profile women with high-profile men, and the men are the clients. They pay her for that. Allegedly, this woman's been setting Saweetie up with rich men around the world, and that claim alone set social media on fire. Now here's where it gets even wilder. According to Money East, this assistant was more than just a manager. She was out here arranging private tours across different countries for men who wanted to meet Saweetie. Allegedly, one of those clients got real obsessed with her. And get this, Manice claimed Saweetie told that man not to pay the woman who set it all up. That's where things blew up. Once money and secrets get mixed like that, the whole discretion part goes out the window. And when that happens, you just know exposure is coming next. So the word on the street is that Saweetie actually owes this woman money for those introductions. And the wildest part?
Been the topic of conversation this week because of her music. No, come on, don't be ridiculous. Come on, be serious for 1 fucking second. If you're gonna play games, get off the video and start even talk. Blind Adams have been saying this for a while, but now there is a woman on Instagram who is accusing Saweetie of being a yacht girl. And for those of you who don't know what a yacht girl is, it's basically a girl who sells cookies, but she's not a Girl Scout. If you hearing this news is shocking to you and you never saw this coming, I'm willing to bet that you're also the kind of person who, when your baby daddy said if you gave him a little bit more coochie, he would start being a better father. And you believed him and did it. Hearing this news is unbelievable to you, it's shocking to you, you're also the kind of person who buys hair care products from The Rock. I have said it before, and I get crucified for it, people get so mad every single time I bring it up, but your favorite musicians are not very wealthy. Like, there's no money to be made in the music industry. A lot of them are broke. Some of the influencers on this app make more money than your favorite musicians. And the reason why, it's not just because, I think especially applies especially like in hip hop, it's not just because they don't get paid that much, it's also because they get paid a decent amount. It's because their lifestyle is extremely expensive. Like, if you are in hip hop, part of being in hip hop is that you have to look rich, you have to pretend to be ultra wealthy, and living outside of your means is very expensive. It's not just like having a fancy house and owning cars, right? It's also like having a glam team all the time, having an agent, having a manager, having a social media person. All of that is very, very expensive. In your mind, you thought Saweetie was affording all of that off of her music career when she's been in the game 10 years and has still not put out a debut album? The hilarious thing about that is that I think that Saweetie is very, very marketable. I think there's a world where Saweetie can make a bunch of money because at this point in time, the point in becoming a musician is because it's the easiest way to become famous, right? And once you are famous, then you are marketable, and that's when you bring in the money. If you are ever trying to pocket watch your favorite celebrity and they're a musician specifically, right, you're trying to figure out if they're broke or not, all you have to do is check to see their endorsement deals, right? The more endorsement deals they have, the more paid they are. If you have a favorite celebrity, I'm not gonna say no names, there's one in particular I'm thinking of, and they haven't had an endorsement deal in years, they're probably broke. And I'm gonna leave that at that. Unless they own businesses and companies that are kept on the hush, 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 they're probably broke. Pink.
People are saying her current boyfriend, John Sanchez, might have started as one of those clients. Imagine that. The same man with her name tatted on his skin could have met her through a paid setup. That rumor alone got fans losing their minds online. Now, do y'all really think Saweetie's out here using what she's got to get what she wants? Some people say she's just hustling smart, while others are convinced she's playing a dangerous game with powerful men. Either way, this whole thing sounds like a reality show waiting to happen. But hold on, the drama doesn't stop there, because right after that Saweetie mess, Beyonce's own dad, Matthew Knowles, decided to drop a bombshell of his own. He revealed some insane tea about Beyonce and Alicia Keys being airlifted out of Rio de Janeiro after their lives were put in danger. Now, say what you want about Beyonce's parents, but one thing's for sure, Tina and Matthew Knowles don't hold back. Tina's always spilling funny or embarrassing stories about Bey, and Matthew, he goes straight for the career tea.
I get on here acting fake surprised about Saweetie. I been told y'all months ago, it damn sure wasn't the fucking music. I need you guys to stop putting these people on a pedestal. And, you know, with everything unraveling right now, I made my last video about it. Please understand, there is a reason people are scared of that Fent. Pepsi and Coca-Cola company has never shut down, babes. Never shut down. I don't give a fuck what y'all say, what you wanna claim. There is two sides of peer pressure.
Remember the song Put It in a Love Song by Beyonce and Alicia Keys back in 2010? Ever wonder why that music video never saw the light of day? Well, Matthew finally explained, and the truth is crazy. Apparently both Beyonce and Alicia's lives were at serious risk during that shoot. Now, here's where the story takes a seriously dark turn, because according to Matthew Knowles, the real reason that video got scrapped had nothing to do with creative direction. It was because Sony didn't pay off the gangs running things in Rio. Yep, you heard that right. Matthew basically exposed that some powerful people in the city expected a payout before Beyonce and Alicia could safely film. And when that didn't happen, everything went left. To really understand how dangerous this was, let's rewind for a second. Back in 2010, Brazil recorded over 43,000 murders. That's about 22 per 100,000 people, compared to the global average of just 6.9. And Rio de Janeiro was the hotspot for violence. We're talking one of the most dangerous cities in the world at that time.
Pink wig.
The female rap artist Saweetie has recently been accused of being a yachter, doing paid and arranged relationships, losing clients because she's abusing substances, doing voodoo. I see a lot of people, one, asking what yachting is, and two, wanting this whole situation broken down, so I'm gonna break it down for you. Now, Saweetie's accused of being a yachter. A yachter is somebody that gets on boats and they abuse maritime law. There's a thin line of do's and don'ts in the ocean, and sometimes they use that thin line to buy and sell cash. Now, Saweetie does live a very luxurious lifestyle, and I just can't believe that she's living this lifestyle from her music. Now, Maybach May, who's put these allegations on Saweetie, is accused of being a madame. A madame is a higher tier yachter or a higher tier escort, and they usually are in charge of divvying out the girls. A good example of an alleged madame is Natalie Nunn or Jocelyn Hernandez or any other bitches that got a show on Zeus Network. They have countless allegations of going to Dubai for these lash parties, but you never see any lashes sold. Then they always come back talking about how they got the bag. Now, one of the things it seems Maybach May is accusing Saweetie of is not fulfilling the full agreement. What's the agreement, you may ask? I think Saweetie was supposed to meet up with the soccer player. I think they were supposed to do the do and call it a day. Now, Miss Madame is alleging that Saweetie told the soccer player not to pay the madame and just to pay her. Now, here's a video of Saweetie originally meeting the guy at the soccer game, and I think it is a little weird that she doesn't even look like she knows who he is. She doesn't even realize that he's coming over to see her until he gets there, and then she hugs him, and it's a little awkward. Now, she said this was a paid appearance, so what I think was supposed to happen is I think Saweetie was supposed to get paid to go visit this guy. Visit, if you know what I mean. I think when this man visited Saweetie, he fell in love, and she realized that, so she told this man, just pay me, you don't gotta pay her. Now, since Saweetie got the whole pay cut, maybe they have to act like they're in a relationship so it doesn't look weird, the big transfer of money. So what famous sports player is not gonna give his girl hella money anyways? And they were gonna ice the madame.
And get this, in November 2010, right around when Beyonce and Alicia were in town shooting Put It in a Love Song, Rio literally went under siege. Criminal gangs launched full-blown attacks on police, and it spiraled into such chaos that the military had to step in. It wasn't some little street scuffle. This was organized crime, armed groups with military-grade weapons controlling whole neighborhoods like warlords. So imagine trying to film a glitzy pop music video in the middle of that? The moment Sony failed to handle the security arrangements, the entire shoot turned into a massive risk. Matthew said it plain, once those gangs felt disrespected, things could have gone real bad, real fast. And apparently it got so serious that Beyonce and Alicia had to be airlifted out for their own safety. When you're escaping by helicopter, you already know it's no regular filming problem. The craziest part? Despite all that danger, both of them actually managed to finish filming before fleeing the country, but for some reason, the video was never released. Years later, in 2016, when Alicia Keys was asked about it, she gave a much softer answer. She said the final cut just didn't capture the energy they wanted. Interesting, right? So now fans are wondering, which story's the truth? Was it really too dangerous to promote, or did Sony just try to bury the chaos? Some people believe it was a mix of both, that they wrapped up the shoot under fire, but the company didn't want the world knowing what went down behind the scenes. Either way, the fact remains, Put It in a Love Song never had an official music video, and the track flopped in the US despite being a global hit elsewhere. And back then, not having a video was career suicide, especially for two superstars like Beyonce and Alicia Keys. It's wild to think that behind one of the most glamorous collabs of that era, there might have been a literal war raging just outside the camera frame. But wait, things didn't stop there, because after Matthew Knowles' story went viral, fans started digging deep, and what they found made everything sound even scarier. Reports from that same week in November 2010 revealed that the violence in Rio wasn't just random. It was a full-blown gang war that had the entire city on lockdown. Armed groups were burning buses, blocking main highways, and even shooting down police helicopters. Can you imagine Beyonce and Alicia Keys trying to film a glamorous music video while all that chaos was happening just a few blocks away? Madness. According to locals, production crews were forced to pause shooting several times because explosions and gunfire could be heard in the distance. The neighborhoods they filmed in were considered red zones, meaning they were under gang control. You couldn't move there without permission. And when word spread that Sony hadn't handled security the right way, that's when things got tense. People started warning the team that it wasn't safe to stay, and that's reportedly when emergency calls were made to get the stars out, fast. And let's be real, this wasn't your average drama about creative differences. This was life or death. Sources claim Beyonce and Alicia were flown out in a private military helicopter under armed escort, and that's why Matthew said their lives were literally in danger. Now here's the part that keeps fans talking. After the evacuation, the footage for Put It in a Love Song was never released, not even leaked. And that's suspicious because back then, any Beyonce project was guaranteed to blow up, so why hide it? Some insiders say the video might have shown locations or faces connected to those criminal networks, and Sony didn't want any legal smoke or bad press linked to the brand. But others think something deeper was at play. Rumors started floating that there was tension between Beyonce and Alicia during the shoot, apparently over creative control and screen time. Some crew members allegedly said Alicia wanted equal focus, while Sony's direction leaned more toward highlighting Beyonce. So between the violence outside and the ego clash inside, that shoot was doomed from the start. Years later, when fans kept asking Alicia about the video, she laughed it off like it wasn't a big deal, saying, "We didn't feel it captured the magic we wanted." But come on, that sounds like PR talk. People in the industry say there's no way a label would just scrap a major collab from two of the biggest names in the world unless something serious went down behind the scenes. So now, the question that's got everyone obsessed: what really happened in Rio? Was it gang trouble, creative beef, or something the label doesn't want the world to know? One thing's for sure, that missing video has become one of the most mysterious chapters in Beyonce's entire career. And just when everyone thought the mystery couldn't get any deeper, boom! More behind-the-scenes whispers started surfacing, painting an even darker picture of what went down in Rio. According to people who were allegedly on set, Sony's team was warned before filming even began that the favela locations were under heavy gang control, but instead of relocating, they pushed forward. Because, well, it was Beyonce and Alicia Keys. They wanted that raw, authentic Rio backdrop for the video. The energy, the colors, the culture. But what they didn't realize was that the streets they were walking through weren't just beautifully gritty. They were owned by people who demanded respect and payment. Insiders say the local fixers who were supposed to negotiate with the area's leaders disappeared halfway through production, leaving the crew completely exposed. Some reports even claim that armed men showed up near the set, watching from rooftops as the team tried to keep filming. Imagine being there. Dancers, cameras, luxury cars, all surrounded by tension so thick you could feel it in the air. It wasn't just dangerous, it was a ticking time bomb. By the third day of filming, the vibe had completely shifted. Rumors say that threats started circulating, one warning Sony to shut it down or face consequences. That's when everything changed. The shoot was cut short, and according to one staff member, Beyonce and Alicia were quietly escorted out of the city under heavy security before anyone could even pack up the gear. Some crew members didn't even know they were gone until hours later. That's how serious it was. And here's the craziest twist. Some people claim that parts of the footage were actually seized by local authorities during the chaos. Allegedly, certain tapes and drives never made it back to Sony's hands, which could explain why the video has never leaked in over a decade. For something that high profile, that silence speaks volumes. Now, what makes this all even more interesting is that both Beyonce and Alicia stayed silent for years. No interviews, no mentions, nothing. It's like they made an unspoken pact to bury the whole thing. But Matthew Knowles' recent confession cracked that vault open, and now the internet's buzzing all over again. Fans are torn. Some say it's all exaggerated. Others swear the story matches too perfectly with the real events in Rio that week. But one thing everyone agrees on, Beyonce and Alicia Keys were lucky to get out alive. What's wild is that even after escaping the chaos, both artists carried on like nothing happened. Smiling on red carpets, doing interviews, never once hinting that they'd been in what was basically a war zone. That's professionalism, but also pure survival instinct. Things take an even crazier turn here. Back in November 2010, right when Beyonce and Alicia Keys were filming Put It in a Love Song, Rio de Janeiro turned into a straight-up battlefield. The city exploded in violence as powerful criminal gangs clashed with police. And it got so bad that the Brazilian military had to step in to restore order. It wasn't just protests or random crime. This was a full-blown urban war happening in real time. And these weren't your average street thugs. These were ruthless, organized syndicates running whole neighborhoods like their own private kingdoms. They had people posted on rooftops with rifles, patrolling the streets, controlling who could enter or leave their areas. Locals say even police officers avoided certain zones unless they had armored vehicles. That's how wild it was. So imagine Sony rolling into town trying to film a glossy, high-budget music video right in the middle of all that, with luxury cars, fancy outfits, and camera crews flashing lights. It was like dropping a diamond in the dirt and expecting no one to notice. If those gangs felt disrespected or thought someone was profiting off their turf without paying tribute, it could have turned deadly in seconds. And that's exactly why insiders believe the situation spiraled the way it did. Reports say the production team underestimated the tension, and once the locals got wind that money hadn't been handled properly, things went from risky to life-threatening. People on set claimed they heard gunfire echoing through the hills while Beyonce and Alicia were performing. That's how close it was. Eventually, authorities decided they couldn't take any more chances. Both women were airlifted out of Rio under heavy protection, like an emergency evacuation. Think about that. Not a luxury exit, not a private jet, an actual airlift. That's not regular celebrity drama. That's straight up survival mode. But even with all that chaos, Beyonce and Alicia reportedly stayed calm and professional till the very end. They pushed through, finished the final shots, and only then were whisked away to safety. That level of commitment? Unreal. You can tell these women were built different. No panic, no meltdown, just pure focus while the city burned around them. After everything that happened, the footage was quietly shelved, never officially released, and the label pretended like the project never existed. Fans didn't realize at the time, but the decision to bury the video might have saved a lot of people from even bigger problems behind the scenes. Still, to this day, people say Beyonce and Alicia never got enough credit for what they went through. They weren't just shooting a music video, they were surviving one of Rio's most violent chapters in history, and somehow they walked away from it like nothing ever happened. But here's what fans can't stop talking about. After all these years, that missing Put It in a Love Song video has become one of music's biggest mysteries. People still ask, where's the footage? Did Sony lock it away in some vault forever? Or was it destroyed because of what was caught on camera? Some claim parts of the shoot were filmed deep inside favelas that no one from the outside world was supposed to see. And once things got heated, it became too risky to ever release it publicly. There are even whispers that certain locals warned the production team to never show those scenes again. Apparently, some of the extras and background performers were real residents tied to those powerful groups. And if that footage ever resurfaced, it could have reignited tensions that the city worked years to calm down. If that's true, then Beyonce and Alicia weren't just victims of bad timing. They were unknowingly in the middle of a political powder keg. Still, fans can't help but wonder, what if that video dropped today? With all the technology, all the hype, it would probably go viral in minutes. People online have been begging for it to be released ever since Matthew Knowles opened his mouth about the whole thing. Some even started petitions claiming that the footage represents a lost piece of pop history. Two icons at their peak, uniting music, fashion, and culture in one explosive collaboration. But behind the glamour, there's still that dark shadow, the memory of what they went through. For years, both Alicia and Beyonce stayed silent, never touching the topic again. Alicia moved on with her career and family, while Beyonce, being Beyonce, tightened her circle and made sure no more chaos ever touched her brand again. She learned early that fame might open doors, but it can also put you right in the crosshairs of danger if you're not careful. What's even crazier is how few people even realized what was happening back then. Fans saw bright outfits, beach shots, and city lights, not realizing the crew was filming under armed surveillance and constant threat. When that helicopter lifted off, carrying two of the biggest names in music to safety, it wasn't just the end of a shoot, it was a lucky escape from something that could have ended in tragedy. Now, every time someone brings up Put It in a Love Song, it's not just nostalgia, it's disbelief. People can't believe that one of the biggest collabs of the decade got buried under gunfire, gang wars, and industry silence. It's a reminder that sometimes the biggest stories in music aren't about awards or fame. They're about survival. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share to stay in the loop with all the latest tea. Hit that notification bell so you never miss an update, and I'll catch you in the next video.